Pickle, let's go to the hotline. And let's bring in the head coach of the regional final bound Lago Vista Vikings. We're joined by Coach Craten Phillips. Coach, how are you?
Man, I'm awesome.
How are things in beautiful Lago Vista, Texas?
Pretty exciting right now. Things have been going pretty well.
I would say so. You guys are coming off of a thrilling 18-14 win over Vanderbilt Industrial in the 3A Division I regional semifinals. I just from your perspective, last week, and we'll get to what's coming up this week as well. But how critical, how big, as far as the trajectory of this program, was that win to take down a really good Vanderbilt Industrial team in the regional semifinals? How important was that, not only for continuing your season this year, but just for the future of this Lago Vista program?
Well, that was by definition a program win, right? I think that's what you're getting at. This is a program that's fairly young as far as standards are in the state of Texas. Football's only been a sport at Lago Vista since about 2000. And so the tradition is something that takes time, to build, the belief that you're supposed to win, all those things are, they're kind of coming together. It's a process. And so for this team to be able to accomplish what it has this year, being kind of an underdog and and also ran in a lot of people's books to start with, to come out and continue to fight and battle and get those wins, I think creates excitement in our town and our school, and within the program itself, and just kind of changes who the kids believe they are and who they're supposed to be going forward.
You guys are a team that I think you went about this win in a particularly, gutty way. This was not this. I don't think anybody's going to hang this game in the Louvre as far as like the prettiest game they've ever seen. But you guys won with defense and special teams. You didn't rely on going out there hitting 90-yard pass plays or anything like that. Is that particularly satisfying for you to win a game? I don't want to say ugly because I know it's pretty to you, but at the same time, is that satisfying?
Yeah, that ugly is not that's not unfair. Non-traditional, I guess, would be the more PC way to put that. The defense, gets a 94-yard interception return for a touchdown. The special teams gets a 75-yard kick return for a touchdown. The offense doesn't actually score a touchdown in the game. Contributed, we kind of joked, it's like, well, I'm glad we got those 5 points that we did contribute offensively. We kicked a field goal and we came in and converted a 2-point conversion. And so it was absolutely non-traditional, and it was a point of pride for me. Post game, I got pretty fired up, with the kids and talking, and they were pumped. And it's something that we talk about every week. We're not a hey, we'll just get it to this guy team. That's just not who we are. We don't have this guy. We have a bunch of dudes that get out there and they just get after it every week. They understand their role. They take pride in it, and they just play their tails off. And there's not this one receiver or this one running back or this one giant lineman or who, there's not a guy that just over and over is the one that we count on. It is absolutely a team effort every time, and to get a win as non-traditional as it was, I think was actually pretty exciting for the team and all those involved in those things that maybe don't always get the publicity that they should.
Talking with Craten Phillips, the head coach of the Lago Vista Vikings here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation, #TF Today. Coach, you guys are you're there in, I believe, this is your 5th year there at Lago Vista. 6th year. Sixth year at Lago Vista. And you had success everywhere you've been. You took the Garrison to the playoffs. You had a number of fantastic years at Garrison, a number of fantastic years at Sonora. And you take over a Lago Vista team that, needed a jolt. Your first year, 2-8. It wasn't necessarily what you guys were what up to the standards I know you're hoping to set. What's the difference now, the biggest difference between the program that maybe you inherited and the program that you're seeing right now in the regional final?
I think we talk about the program wins, right? Mm-hmm. Where when you win at a level that the kids start believing that that's what's supposed to happen, then they prepare themselves as winners. They prepare themselves in the off season as winners, and they get out there and play. each and every week like they've got a chance. I think that's it's a mentality thing that, some schools, like if you go to school in Shiner, you expect to win every Friday night. If you go to school in Refugio, you expect to win every Friday night because that's what's happened for the last 30 years. And so there's that inherent pressure, and it's a positive kind of pressure that you have to win and have to do that. And so it's just so new here, and I think it's turning. I think it's certainly for the positive. I think the kids are really bought into what we do. My coaching staff is like a dream team. In 3A football, I can't imagine having a staff the level and quality of guys that I have here in Lago Vista, and the job that they do, not only X's and O's wise, but just the relationships and getting these kids that if you see us play, you're gonna see kids that you just can't imagine that they would be successful, or that maybe they belong in this level of a ball game. Because you want to talk about the big time recruits and the big time players that make all these plays, and everybody wants to talk about the exciting stuff, and it's a little different how we get it done here. So it's certainly turning for the better. I think for sure. I think the kids believe they're supposed to win every week. I think they just enjoy playing, and it's just a fun atmosphere to be a part of on this team.
Talking with Craten Phillips, head coach at Lago Vista, here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation, #TF Today. Coach, this is you mentioned the growth of this program. I guess the simple question is, are you surprised that you're in a regional final? If I were to go back and we're talking before week one, and if I were to say, hey, by the way, you're going to be in a regional final, would you look at me sideways, or is this something that you could have seen coming, even despite the what we'll just say is the strangest offseason of all time?
Yes. No, I think that was kind of within the coaching staff, this was kind of a goal of ours. I felt like this was something that was attainable. Not like we're a shoe-in, bet your last paycheck that we're going to be in the fourth round game. But definitely we felt like the group of kids that we have collectively could really get it done if they develop throughout the season. And so, we love our kids. I think everybody looks at their own team with rose-colored glasses and believes they can do things that sometimes they can and can't do. But we thought this was a possibility. We're not completely surprised to be here. I think we had some bumps along the road early. We played a couple of tough teams in there, had a couple of losses midseason, and, we really have to get it together if we were going to be able to get to this point. And I'm really proud of how the kids have kind of pulled it together about the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Well, it's on to the next one, and that is Friday, 7 o'clock in Leander at Bible Stadium, beautiful Bible Stadium, as you will get a familiar foe. You'll get a district rematch with the undefeated Llano Yellow Jackets. They took the first matchup 44-27 in a game that I thought was a lot closer than the score may necessarily indicate. I don't want to ask you to give away your game plan, but when you're up against what do you look at when you're I know you're already breaking down film. What are you up against on Friday whenever you take on the Yellow Jackets?
Man, these guys are good. I would say the Yellow Jacket team is probably the most complete team we played against all season. They're balanced attack offensively. They are absolutely explosive. Their skilled kids they're just solid everywhere. A lot of times you look at a team and you try to find that weak link and attack it offensively or defensively. It's tough to find that link with this team. They've got a good offensive line, a very tenacious defensive line, and like I said, the skill players are as good as anything we've seen, and it's across the board. It's not one guy. Well, you got to cover this one guy. You better cover them all, and don't let the quarterback slip out on you either. And so going into this, I think you have to figure out what it is that you're good at that may give you an advantage one place or another, just like you would every week, and understand that patience is going to be key. That it's going to be a battle. If things work out the way that we'd like it to, it's going to be a fist fight all the way to the end. And so I think our kids they're prepared for that. We've had that all through the playoffs. That we've had to play teams that maybe have more size than us or have more speed than us, and our kids have found a way to win. So I think they're looking forward to the rematch. I don't think, ever losing a ball game ever leaves a good taste in your mouth. But Lano is someone that we've played, even though we haven't been in district, we've been playing them for about the last 5 years or so, back and forth. We've even been each other's homecoming. We've traded wins and losses with them, and so they're a very familiar foe, and so we're excited to get to this level. And it's cool to have our district represented again on both ends in the regional final.
Yeah, you can't say you guys didn't walk through a tough district if you got both teams playing for the regional title. I'll certainly say that.
Yeah.
He's Craten Phillips. He's the head coach of the Lago Vista Vikings, who will play 7 o'clock Friday at Bible Stadium in Leander against the Lano Yellow Jackets for a spot in the state semifinals. Coach, really appreciate your time. Congratulations again on the fantastic win last week, and go get them on Friday.
All right. Thank you very much.